Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. Hong, the Hong drum. Hong means hand, hand drum. It's like a pan drum, an upside down metal bowl with different notes, but this time it's domed like this. It's a mainstay of world music. Let's talk a little bit about it. We'll look at a piece I've done recently. I'm by no means an expert in this. In fact, the Hong drum that I use is a sample library, and I've played them, of course, but they're terrifically expensive. Here's Soniccouture's, and it's a exquisitely and highly detailed sample set of several different Hong drums. I'm just going to kind of roll this in the background as we talk. The performance on the Hong involves slapping and tapping with knuckles or fingers the nodes of the top of the bowl. You can see here each node is a different note. And down below, in fact, let's scoot this up so we can see it. You can see how it is mapped. The yellow keys represent the original samples, and then things have been stretched and manipulated to go further. As a ambient musician, I'm called on to do music for kind of supporting movement theater, and very often what we call ecstatic dance. And we did this piece as an opener, that is to say, something at the top of a class in the classic 5 rhythms arc of an ecstatic dance class. We want to have a sort of a warm-up period, and that's what this piece is for. I do love these sounds. Now, if we just look closely, I'm going to close this now, at what's going on harmonically, you can see it is very stable. There's a solid fundamental, in this case the flap down here and this A appearing again and again. You hear that as a D? Well, basically what we're talking about is the root and the fifth, right? In fact, if I was going to analyze this, it wouldn't be hard to just say it's the natural minor. But what it comes down to is this recurring, slightly hypnotic pulse. I've got a simple shaker. As a cocktail pianist, and I don't really do very many gigs like that anymore, I was aware that often I was just a signifier. My teacher, Roland Wiggins, was a student of semantics and of semantic logic. And one of the fundamentals of that is that certain objects, and I can include myself as an object, or a musical phrase as an object, or an instrument, as an object, are signifiers. A core tenet of information theory is that an object's ability to carry information is in inverse proportion to its predictability. This music is terrifically predictable. And that means because it's so predictable, it actually doesn't carry that much information. There's no new information being presented here. The only thing that happens when we're looking at the screen again is density shifts, right? Some things come, some things go. It actually helps us kind of be with ourselves. So it's actually sort of challenging for a composer because our intellectual drive tries to get us to say something, to mean something, to get a message across. And restraining that, putting the reins on my drive to communicate is actually kind of challenging for me. I tracked this all in one pass, and it's a good thing that I had another producer with me because it kept me in the space that I was in. Repeat, do it again. I talk about repetition a lot on this channel, and it's because I'm really interested in the give and take between meaning and message. When the melody re-enters, there's a feeling, something that comes in, and just the fact that it re-entered is the signifier here. This is a great sample library. It sounds very vital, and it's convincing. This track's being used all over the place now in dance classes. But I will say this. I have some concerns, and I think you probably should too if you're engaged in any kind of musical composition, about the appropriation inherent in just the term world music. Now, I actually don't mind using the Hong drum because it's a modern invention. It was put together, I think, by a fella in Switzerland. It's only, decade or two old. And yet it's really caught on among the, I'll just say world music. I don't like to use the term, but, that lane musically. It's hypnotic, and it's hypnotic largely because it doesn't carry much information. A signifier's ability to convey information is in inverse proportion to its novelty. The more predictable something is, the less information it carries. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe and ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos. I'll see you next time.